I et on. Aujourd'hui, Ace et ici pour vous aider avec I et on. Ce sont deux petits mots similaires à le, la, les, lui, leur. Alors, on va les voir. Donc, nous avons I. Tu veux aller au cinéma? Oui, je veux y aller. Tu vas souvent au cinéma? Oui, j'y vais souvent. Take a minute and think about, what could that be? Voila. I, pourquoi? I usually means there. And so in most cases, it's going to replace a place. It replaces any noun except for a person, but it's usually a place. That follows prepositions. What are examples of prepositions? A, au, à la, en, dans, chez, etc. Okay. Exemple, tu vas à la plage? Oui, j'y vais. Qu'est-ce que I remplace ici? À la plage. So is there anything wrong with saying, tu vas à la plage? Oui, je vais à la plage. No, but this is the next level. If you never use it, that's fine, but people are going to say it and you're going to be like, what the heck is that? Now you know what it is. And those of you that are continuing, this is obviously something you want to be able to use. If you're going to take AP, this is an example of an advanced structure that you can use instead of using simple French 1. Oui, je vais à la plage. So, I. Plus d'exemples avec I. Tu vas au supermarché? Oui, j'y vais. What's the I replacing? Au supermarché. Tu vas à la bibliothèque? Non, je n'y vais pas. What's the I replacing? À la bibliothèque. Tu vas chez Marie? Oui, j'y vais. What's the E replacing? Chez Marie. So this is replacing a place, right? Because chez Marie means at Marie's house. So it can only be a preposition and a noun and not a person, but in this case it's not a person, it's the name, it's her home. Tu vas dans le restaurant? Non, je n'y vais pas. What's the E replacing? Dans le restaurant. Tu vas en France? Oui, j'y vais. What's the E replacing? En France. So far, those are all examples of present tense, right? So just like we have done in the past with le, la, les, lui, leur. I goes right before the verb. Passé composé. Tu es allé au café? Oui, j'y suis allé. Tu es allé au Mexique? Non, je n'y suis pas allé. There we've got examples of passé composé. Where does the I go? Before the être. Example with two verbs in the sentence. Tu vas aller au stade? Oui, je vais y aller. Where does the I go? Before verb to. Just like le, la, les, lui, leur. Tu vas aller à New York? Non, je ne vais pas y aller. En. Tu veux du fromage? Oui, merci. J'en veux. Oui, j'en veux. Merci. En. En actually has several different meanings. We're going to focus more this year on just one of them, but you'll see it sometimes in other things. It could mean some, any, about them, about it, from there, or it. You'll see what I mean. The things we're going to focus on are all of them that have to do with some kind of quantity, which means we're going to see a noun that comes after du, de la, des, de, a noun introduced by un or une, a noun preceded by an expression with de, like avoir envie de, avoir besoin de, a noun introduced by a number, like 5 fraises, 2 chiens, nouns with a quantity with de, so too many bananas, trop de bananes, a kilo of apples, un kilo de pommes, a lot of apples, beaucoup de pommes. Okay, so that's where we're going to focus, which in all of these cases, it's going to mean some. These are other uses we'll see, but right now our focus has to do with the quantity, so these are the things we're looking at. Examples with en. Tu as des fraises? Oui, j'en ai. Could I say, oui, j'ai des fraises? Yes, but again, that's the simple French 1, French 2. Why repeat fraises if we don't have to? So the point, just like with le, la, les, lui, leur, of using I and en, is to not have to repeat yourselves. Yes, I have some. J'en ai. Tu as du poisson? Oui, j'en ai. Tu as de la tarte? No, je n'en ai pas. Doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine. En means some. So we replaced des, du, de la, and the noun with en. Tu as une voiture? Oui, j'ai une voiture. Or j'en ai une. Now notice we put une here, and you're like, wait, I thought the whole point is to get rid of repetition. Well, we didn't repeat car. When you use a number in French with en, you have to put the number, because if I say tu as une voiture and I just say j'en ai, j'en just means some, so now we don't know how many. So you got to precise, yes, I have one, j'en ai une. Or maybe they said you have two cars, and you say, yes, actually I have two, j'en ai deux. So you do have to put that. Tu as un vélo? Non, je n'en ai pas. If you don't have a car, then you don't have to put the number because you don't have any. Or bike, actually. Right. Tu as trois frères? No, mais j'en ai deux. So you could precise there. They asked you if you had three. No, but you do have two. J'en ai. If you just said j'en ai, that means I have some. How many? Two. J'en ai deux. Tu as beaucoup de CD? Here's a quantity. A lot of, right? And the quantities always have de. Oui, j'en ai beaucoup. With quantities, just like with numbers, you also have to add those into your new sentence. Because if you just said oui, j'en ai, that just means I have some. How many? A lot. J'en ai beaucoup. These are some other examples that we're not going to focus on, but other ways besides with the quantity idea. You could see examples of talking about coming from there. Tu viens de la plage? Oui, j'en viens. Instead of je viens de la plage. Tu parles de tes vacances? Oui, j'en parle. I'm talking about them. So it's always de and some kind of noun, but these examples are ones that don't have to do with quantity. Tu as besoin de ta voiture? Oui, j'en ai besoin. Here's another expression that takes de. Do you need your car? Yes, I need it. J'en ai besoin. You can't use la here because avoir besoin de takes de. And with de, you always have to have en. Tu as envie de la glace? Oui, j'en ai envie. Again, I want some, but it also can't be la because avoir envie takes de. So it's en. Where do e and en go again? Same places as le, la, le, lui, leur. So we're going to be working on those again too. If there's one verb, where does it go? Right before the verb, juste avant le verbe. De verbe, avant verbe de. Passé composé, avant avoir ou être. Pour les commandes, une commande positive, attaché iant après le verbe. Commande négative, avant le verbe. Et voici des exemples. Oui, avec un verbe, j'en fais, je n'en fais pas. Vous avez positif et négatif avant le verbe. Deux verbes, je veux en faire, je ne veux pas en faire. Avant verbe de. Passé composé, j'y suis allé, je n'y suis pas allé. Avant être. Okay. And then while we're here, let's review our other object pronouns, le, la, le, lui, leur, because we're going to start mixing all these together soon. So the first thing we need to know is le, la, le. When do we use those? Pour les personnes et les objets. Okay, le, la, le, c'est pour les personnes et les objets. Lui et leur, c'est juste pour les personnes, pas les objets. Et juste les personnes avec A, O, O. Oui, vous avez une liste de verbes qui utilisent lui et leur, comme parler, écrire, donner. Et maintenant, nous allons voir qu'est-ce qu'on fait quand il y a deux objets dans une phrase, double object pronouns. This little chart I made for you is important. This is going to show you the order. If you have two, mots nouveaux are always going to come before le, la, le, which are always going to come before lui and leur, which are always going to come before e, which is always going to come before en. So if I have a sentence and I need to put a leur in it and an e, the leur is going to come before the e. If I need to put a te in it and an e, the te is going to come before the e. So let's look at a couple examples. Ace is being a little baby today, and usually he doesn't want to sit on me anymore because he's getting old, so we have to include him in the video. He wants to be remembered. So examples. So we put our chart up here again so we can see this. So, est-ce que tu as parlé à Luc? What am I going to use to replace à Luc? Louis, because it's a person with a. And what am I going to use to replace au café? E, because it's a preposition and a place. So we've got the Louis and the E. So then we're going to look up here and see what order do I do it in. Louis comes before E, and it's passé composé, so I put them both before the avoir. When you have two object pronouns, You never separate them. They're always both they're always both together and before the verb. So you never, whatever placement we just reviewed that you put one object pronoun, you put two together. You never separate them. So je lui ai parlé. Here's another example. Est-ce que tu manges du popcorn au cinéma? What are we going to use to replace du popcorn? En, because it's du with a noun. And what are we going to use to replace au cinéma? E, because it's a preposition and a noun. So we've got en e. And then let's look up here. E goes before en. And you can remember it like this. I en. So we have j'y en mange. One verb, object pronoun goes before the verb. Never separate them. Wherever the rule is for where they both go there together. Okay? And then, est-ce que tu donnes le cadeau à Marc? What are we going to use to replace le cadeau? Le, à Marc, Louis. And then what's the order? Le, Louis. So, je le lui donne. Thank you, Ace.